Thank you, President Pelton, for that kind introduction. And thank you for hosting this dynamic virtual video series confronting the reality of hate in our world and creating a platform for us to come together and do something about it. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to participate in a program designed by young people. But young people have always been asked to lead, and I fiercely believe in your ability and your capacity and your will to do exactly that, to lead. That is why I'm so excited to be here with you to discuss another very real but heavy reality that we must all confront, and that is hate. But I know together we are powerful, and if we organize and we mobilize, I know that we can build a future for all of us that centers the humanity and the dignity of everyone. Another world is possible, but it requires all of us to be intentional in every decision we make, including who we invite to be at the decision-making table. And if you take anything away from this interview today, I hope you know that you are worthy of respect and dignity, that you deserve to feel and to be seen and heard. Now, each of us has a role to play in the movement. Each of us come into this world with our own unique gifts. They're all different, which means we are all called to serve in different ways. The movement requires all of us to contribute what we can, where we are. And you are doing that today. But the work of movement building is a lifelong commitment. And I look forward to doing that work with each and every one of you. So let's take some questions.
The Black Lives Matter movement has really taken off in the United States and in many countries around the world. Can you explain what is the movement and what does it seek to accomplish?
Thank you for your question, Miranda, and thank you for being engaged and for being a change agent in your own right. The movement for Black Lives is a continuation of the civil rights movement, one dedicated to creating a more equitable and just world. And what is so incredible about our movement is it is organic and it is decentralized in nature. Across the country now and across the globe, local activists have formed their own Black Lives Matter chapters and networks to advocate for systemic change, which matches the scale and scope of the systemic discrimination Black Americans have experienced throughout our nation's history. Changes like a radical reimagining of our criminal legal system, a guaranteed right to the ballot box, bold action to address environmental racism, and so much more. Changes that finally and fully affirm that Black lives matter. It is clear that people of color are treated unfairly by nearly all of our major institutions. That is what we mean when we say that racism is systemic. It is structural, and it is something that has to be intentionally and actively dismantled. And the Black Lives Matter movement is challenging all of us in the United States, well, really throughout the globe, to live up to our shared highest ideals, namely that all men and women are created equal.
Congresswoman, when critics say all lives matter, not just Black lives matter, what is your response to that statement?
Of course, all lives matter, and that includes Black lives. Both are true. All lives can't matter if Black lives don't matter.
Many people are trying to conflate the Black Lives Matter movement with organizations like Antifa. Are they connected? And if not, what is the difference between the two movements?
The Black Lives Matter movement and Antifa are simply two different things. One is a network of local chapters from around the country, dedicated to a legislative solution to inequity, and another is an individual commitment to resist fascism. But I know they will unfortunately likely continue to be conflated and demonized in the media.
For our final question, let's go to one of our youth reporters in California. So let's hear from Brenda.
Thank you, Miranda. Congresswoman Pressley, it is an honor to speak with you. Here's my question. Where do we go from here? What is your advice to young people who want to engage in the battle against social and racial injustice?
Brenda, thank you for that question. And I hope my answer doesn't sound too cliche, The fact of the matter is, the fact that you're a part of this today means you're already a part of a movement. You're already a part of a movement to do the work of actively dismantling systemic and structural racism and advancing social justice. So the advice I have for everyone is to take an internal audit of what you excel at, what you want to improve on, and how you can share those gifts with those around you. Not everyone's contribution will look the same. Some will pick up a paintbrush, others a pen. Some will pick up a microphone, others a bullhorn. But we all have a role to play. You should also view voting as not the end of your activism, but the beginning. And you should absolutely vote. But how else can you build up your community? Again, if you're an artist, you can share your art through a mural or by mentoring younger artists. If you love to cook, there are opportunities to volunteer at a nonprofit dedicated to ending food security. You should look into that. If you love to talk to people directly, you can sign up to volunteer for a campaign or for a senior serving organization which combats elder isolation. Do what you can, where you are, with what you have, and this world will be a better place because of it. Thank you so much again for having me, and thank you to all the young people. You are such a source of strength and inspiration for me. I expect greatness from you.